in. Checking to make sure that the bottoms of the forms are flush with the bottom of the phone. They're actually not, but they're about the same amount not, so that should work for our purposes. I'm nervous, guys. Moment of truth. Real moment of truth. Maybe trying out this hot wire cutter that I made to cut the master. Made a quick video on how that went together. It was actually really fun and pretty easy, so if you want to check that out, there'll be a link. It's up to you, really. But in order to do that, you don't want to be breathing styrofoam fumes. On goes the respirator.
Darn it! Run through the wire now.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but the wire got red hot. Red hot. Steel gets red hot at something like 1600 degrees Fahrenheit? 2000? I gotta figure out, I guess I gotta find another wire. Bummer. Well, the system for swapping out and retensioning the wire works well. I'm just going to try this again. I don't really have any reason to believe it's going to go any differently because this is the same gauge wire. I think what happened was when I was testing it the other day and it was working, the battery had a low charge and I just charged it, so maybe it's pushing more juice now. If this doesn't work, I gotta go see if I've got a larger gauge wire upstairs. So yeah, I mean, that's probably what's gonna happen. And you know, we'll just try this while we're here. Might as well give it a shot.
Alright. You are like that. Oh, I can already see it on that side. Getting too hot. Getting too hot. Let's see if it's any red. Whoop, yep, there it is. Okay, wow.
Went through 2 wires and we cut about 4 inches of the mold. And it's, I don't know, dude, that's rough. A couple experiments to run. One is I'm gonna try moving the clips closer together on the same gauge wire. Shorter length should be less resistance, which means it should get less hot, hopefully. And the other thing that I can try is I'm going to try one of the brass on ones. It's probably very stupid. I'm going to wear eye protection when I do that. The other thing I did was I opened the door. So if you can hear it raining, it's because that smell is really noxious. And I don't want it in my lungs, even through the respirator. Okay. So I've got a couple inches of play on either side. So the first thing I'm going to try is going to be to move the clips in, shorten the length of the wire in order to hopefully reduce the resistance. Let's see what that does for us. Alright, that's almost exactly as wide as the forms, and it's cut 4-ish inches out.
Well, let's just hope it works. No, probably won't. But... and boom. Fire is hot. See another spot. See another spot. Damn. Damn. That is just consistently disappointing. Damn.
That cut much nicer though.
Looks like the temperature matters quite a bit.
It's a learning experience.
Okay.
Experiment number 2. Shortening the wire did help. I'm going to try it with one of the brass wound ones. I'm not sure what level of incredibly stupid this is, It's probably one of the higher ones, so I'm going to wear safety
Glasses in addition, just in case.
The winding like I have no idea what to expect.
Ooh. Oh, still cuts. That's cool. Nope, still gets red hot and burns right through. Damn, son. I'm amazed. That's.
I'm going to figure out something else. 12 volts is too much. Attempt number 3, we've got a battery much lower voltage, is a 3 volt. Don't have any, yeah, well, let's just see what happens.
Well, it needs to go real slow. Slow is okay. Gotta say, it's better than burning up the wire. Only 50 more inches to go! It is cutting though. I mean, you can see it. It's just really slow. Come on, dude, you're so close. Strugglesville, USA.
9 volts!
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I believe in you. Ooh. Why is 3 volts cutting and 9 volts not? Boo.
Struggles. Okay, you win. I'm try the speed controller. Just make sure it's zeroed out. I'm not ready to start this project yet anyway, so down, power is on, forward back, it doesn't matter. Okay. Fine. Could have saved myself a lot of trouble if I just decided to do that from the get-go. I didn't want to have to take apart my project though. That's like sad. All projects can coexist in harmony. Alright, so if this is going to be the permanent home for this, I'm going to do some work to just do a neater job of getting everything together. We won't need to... We're using a ton of connectors right now, and we don't need anywhere near as much if this isn't going to be hooked into a motor. But for now, because I want to get this mold done, we're just going to rock with what we got. Attach this to this, and then cheat. It's going to be janky, man. I'm using electrical tape. This is how you know the wire cutter won. I'm just like, not even trying to make things nice anymore. Just want them to work. Just work. I'll be happy if you work. We've got it zeroed out. I'm going to plug the battery in. And turn it up till from 0 till it cuts foam, but hopefully it doesn't overheat.
And we're live. 7 more. A little bit more. Hey, that's encouraging. Just a little touch more. There we go. Alright. Should have just done that from the start.
Well, I popped another string, but I got about half of the board cut out, so that's an acceptable loss for me. I'm gonna go grab another and continue. Alright, we got it rough profiled. After a lot of trial and a whole bunch of error, we got that hot wire cutter working. We got a rough profile for the mold. There's a real art to hot wire cutting, and I'm not very good at it yet, but that was cool. Finally got it running, and now we got this, like, you can see in the beginning it's like a mess. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I bumped into the handle here, so there's a hiccup there. But then the last part, I got the heat right. I was expecting the handle, there's a hiccup there again. Nice and smooth. I think I'm gonna make a long sanding block that will go the whole width of this. Just clean it up. And then figure out what's next. Awesome. I wonder what to use as filler. Got some of these areas where the wire kind of burned down. I've got a crack just from where the foam meets. Both spots where the glue hits, there's little gaps. Oh, why don't you come over here? That's over there. Alright. I think I'm going to finish cutting the mold before I do the filler. So there's a powder cipher. I'm going to probably try to do an inverted double channel. So it'll have a flat, and then it'll have some concave, and then a slight hook back down. And figure out how I'm doing that. But yeah, pretty great. We got a mold blank. Exciting.